What's going on, guys? Back at you again, and I'm just going through these games. I watched these games over, the rematches of these games. Let's talk about this Jags Chiefs games first. I watched that game over, and honestly, if you look at that game, the Jags should have won that game. They had a touchdown which was called back because the lineman went too far upfield, so they wiped that off. 3 points. Then they missed two field goals, and then they fumbled in their red zone. So, I mean, the Chiefs had fumbles too, but it seems to me that the NFL wanted people to think that the Chiefs were way better than the Jags. But if the Jags don't fumble those balls and turn the ball over, they may win that game. So, don't be surprised if the Jags win because they have a Super Bowl winning coach. He can put stuff together. They got some players. They actually have more offensive players than the Chiefs, if you really think about it. The Chiefs' defense might be a little bit better, but I would not be surprised if Trevor Lawrence gets this done. And now, let's talk about this Giants game now. I looked at that game, and the Giants had their whole second team on the field. Literally everybody was a second teamer. And the Eagles had all their starters, Jalen Hurts, and they barely beat them. What was it, 19 to 14 or something? Or 22-14? I forget exactly what the score was, but the Giants literally had no starters on the field. They had Webb playing quarterback, and they were holding their own. The Eagles really couldn't move the ball, but they won the game. So it looks like, oh, they're the better team to an average fan, to someone that really wasn't paying attention. The more I look at it, the Giants, they weren't showing them anything, bro. They were just running streaks. They were so vanilla, so bland. They didn't show the Eagles anything on offense. And they barely lost with a second, third string quarterback. No starters on defense. Jalen Hurts barely got by. So I don't know how they're going to beat them with the Giants throwing everything at them. Because the Giants are going to come correct. They're going to throw their playbook at them now. They're going to come at him a whole different way they came at him all year. That's how Dable does it. He has a game plan for every game. It's going to be different. He's one of those coaches like that, and I think they're trying to bolster him up in the talks as one of those great coaches. And now they got Trevor Lawrence. They're going to switch it up this year. I don't think it's going to be the same old that we've been seeing. And now this Bengals game. Well, with that, I think the Giants. Let me tell you the prediction. I think the Giants might actually win that game. I think they had the Eagles riding high, so everyone bets on them. So then you take their money. Same thing with the Bills. I think they're doing the same with them because now I think the Bengals are gonna beat the Bills. Because I went back and I looked at that tape, and the Bengals offense just looks better, man. They just look better. They look more uniform. They get bigger plays. They have a better running back. Much better run game. It's not even close. Their defenses are very close, and the Bills' defense isn't much better than the Bengals. Not really at all. There's only one game difference between the two teams. I know the Bengals have those lineman problems, but they can just play quick game and switch it up and run more screens and just make it different. Because guess what? Von Miller ain't there, so they don't even have the pass rushers that they would need. If they had Von Miller there, then I would say the Bengals are going to have some trouble. But since he's not there, I think the Bengals are going to show them that they were going to beat them that night. And the NFL couldn't let it happen because then they would screw up their bets. I think that's why they made that DeMar injury happen because they knew that the Bengals were better. If the Bengals outright beat the Bills, that changes everything. They couldn't let people see that yet. If anything, we can see it now, so it's kind of like out of nowhere, but not really. The Bengals are just a better offense. They have literally three good receivers. They got Chase, Higgins, and what's the other guy? Boyd, right? And then they got the running back. They still got their tight end, who they're high on. Joe Burrow is a top 5 quarterback. I just don't know. I don't know if the Bills have enough. They have Diggs, and they have no running game. You take away Josh Allen, they're 30th in the league in rushing, guys. Your Josh Allen can't be your running game in the playoffs. So he's going to be your pass game and your run game. This is not a Super Bowl team, the Bills. The more I think about it, you can't be in the Super Bowl and have zero run game. So, the more I think about it, this isn't a Super Bowl team, man. I think the Bengals will upset them. I think we're gonna get some upsets this week. This is gonna be the week of the upsets. The more I think about it, the more I'm talking myself out of those picks that I picked earlier. Because I literally watched every game over and watched it very closely, and I just don't see how these teams are gonna win. So I think the Bengals get them. All right, and last game, the Cowboys and the Niners. This game I had really trouble with because they didn't play this year. I even watched a playoff game from last year again, but that's not going to show much because it's Jimmy Garoppolo playing. Now you got Brock Purdy, so it's going to be different. A few different guys. Niners were missing guys. This is probably the toughest game to pick out of all of them because it can go either way. Like if the Cowboys won, nobody would be like, "Oh my God," the Cowboys, they're actually a decent team this year. They got T.Y. Hilton. They should have picked up OBJ. Them and or the Giants. One of those guys should have picked up OBJ if they were really trying to make a run. But even without him, they still can be fine. I think the Cowboys are gonna get it done. I think finally they're gonna get it done because they've been holding the Cowboys down since '96, guys. It's been like 23 years, right, or something crazy like that. So like, how much longer are they gonna do this? Like, I think it. Like, if the Cowboys win it this year, you can drought them for another 20 years. But it's around that time. It's been 2 generations have gone by, and they still haven't won anything. So it's like, how much longer are they gonna wait? I just don't know. Brock Purdy's still young. Like, people are saying Tom Brady. He feels like Tom Brady, but like, there's not gonna be another Tom Brady, man. Tom Brady's dad is a billionaire, and he's a silent part owner of the NFL. Brock Purdy don't have it like that. His dad is just a regular guy. You know what I mean? So this ain't no Tom Brady situation. Unless his dad's a billionaire that we don't know about, and he's partly an owner of the NFL, silent. All right, you got me. But until that happens, until someone tells me that, or I find that out, I just don't know. Because when you think about the 49ers offense, what do they do? Screens, jailbreak screens. They don't drop back. It's all rollouts and screens. What does Dallas do well? They set the edge. They pass rush. So I don't think they're going to really allow any of that stuff. I think they're going to be all over the screens and the rollouts. So I think they're going to force Brock Purdy to play from the pocket, something we haven't seen all year. He has not dropped back all year and thrown. Like, he's always been in the lead. This might be a game where he plays from behind and just does not get it done, guys. But then again, the Niners can just roll right through them and run the ball. I just don't know. I think they're going to hit us with the switch up. I think this week is the week where they take your money because this is the week. It's just too easy to say the Chiefs are going to win, the Eagles are going to win, the Bills are going to win, the Niners. I feel like those were during the season, those 4 teams were the favorites, but now this is the playoffs. This is different now. This is where they're going to play everything up and then take your money, man. The NFL doesn't care who goes across. If the Jags, Giants, Bengals, and Cowboys win, they're still going to make their money. Then you got a Jags versus Bengals match. I don't know. And then Giants versus Cowboys. That's what we'd be looking at if those teams won. And then Giants versus Cowboys. No one ever thought the NFC East was going to be like this. So Giants, Cowboys, who would win that game? That'd be a really good game, honestly. I think people are counting out Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones is basically Josh Allen. When you think about how they play, he's 6'5" as well. He's 2'4". He's a big guy. Like, he basically is Josh Allen. They both fixed Josh Allen, and now he's fixing Daniel Jones. Now we're talking about his second contract. We were talking about getting rid of him last year because coaches didn't know how to use him. So I think Daboll has the game plan, man. I think every team that we're talking about right now has a game plan, and it's different from the season, and we're going to see it. I think the Cowboys pull the upset out, guys. I really think they just get it done. Because I don't know, the 49ers, how long can you go bells and whistles for? How long can you just use a screen game as your run game? Like, they can run the ball with Christian McCaffrey, but the Cowboys, if they're smart, they're going to be all over that and force them to beat them from the pocket. I think if the Cowboys can do that and have them play like Tom Brady did, even though Tom Brady, Come on, he was in the red zone so many times they could have easily won that game. And the I don't know, man. But then the Niners blew out the Bucks. See, like the more I think about these games, it just trips me up. But the Cowboys Niners game, this is the toughest game to pick, I think, out of all of them. Because it can go either way, man. I'm really having trouble with this one. Because the more I think about it, it's like both teams only have one star wide receiver. But guess what? The Niners have the star tight end. Cowboys Schultz isn't really a star tight end. He's all right. Their run game is on and off. But are they going to be able to run the ball on the Niners, though? The Niners are stout on the run and pass rush. So I just don't know. It's their pass defense that's not that good. So if the Cowboys can somehow, but then again, the Cowboys, their strength is running the ball. Whenever they go full out pass, it's never good. But if they can somehow exploit that secondary, they could beat them. I think I'm trying to convince myself the Cowboys are going to win. I'm going to pick the Niners. But every other game, I'm going with the Bengals because I think they're just better than the Bills. I think the Giants are better coached than the Eagles. And I think the Week 18 showed that Hurts isn't that good, honestly. They played bad teams. And he had all those weeks off from injury. Now he has another week off. He doesn't seem to play well with time off. And the Giants played last week. I think the Giants are going to beat them, guys. And then, again, I think the Jags keep it really close. I don't know if they win, but it's going to be closer than people think, especially if they can keep the turnovers down. But yeah, I think I'm going to just stay with the Niners. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about these games before they start. But thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.